United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Notice of this meeting was provided to the Westfield Leader, the Union County local source, advertised on January 7, 2016. Notification was sent to the Star Ledger and promptly posted on the Municipal Public Bulletin Board and filed in the office of the Municipal Clerk, informing the public in time and place according to the provisions of the Open Public Meeting Law, Chapter 231, PL 1975. Roll call, Ms. Adriano.
Mayor Lamorno.
Here.
Councilman Kukrow.
Here.
Councilman Martin.
Here.
Councilman Matthews.
Here.
Councilman Sarno.
Here.
Councilman Tedesco.
Here.
And Council President Petrozelli.
Here.
Minutes, Ms. Adriano.
Regular workshop minutes of the Mayor and Council held on September 13, 2016.
Do I have a motion to accept the minutes as presented?
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes, Mayor.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Ms. Adriano, communications,
New Jersey State League of Municipalities, Mayor's Advisories,
receive and file.
Bruce Patterson redevelopment ordinance,
Receive and file.
Yolanda Summer, request for a bus stop,
Receive and file.
Township of Clark, resolution concerning the trust fund,
Receive and file.
Roy Valley Sewer Authority Personnel Committee meetings,
Receive and file.
and Roy Valley Sewer Authority minutes.
Receive and file. We'll move on to ordinances. Introduction. Ms. Ariema, please read ordinance 16-16 by title only.
Yes, Mayor, an ordinance to amend 34-3, special law enforcement officers in Article 1, establishment, organization, and administration in Chapter 34, police department, and Article 6, civilian police dispatchers in Chapter 34, police department of the Code of the Borough of Garwood to revise provisions pertaining to special law enforcement officers and civilian police dispatchers.
Do I have a motion to introduce ordinance 16-16?
I'll make a motion to introduce ordinance 16-16.
Roll call, Ms. Ariema.
Councilman Kukrow.
Yes.
Councilman Martin.
Yes.
Councilman Matthews.
Aye.
Councilman Sarno.
Aye.
Councilman Tedesco.
Aye.
And Council President Petrozelli.
Aye.
Moving on, council standing committees, reports, and other reports. Councilman Sarno for the police.
Thanks, Mayor. I don't have a formal report this week, but the only thing I want to say is I want to advise all residents, you have school in session, you have a number of road projects going on in town. Just be careful when traveling around the borough. And that's all I have.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Public Health, Councilwoman Kukrow.
Thank you, Mayor. The Board of Health met the other day, and there was quite a few things going on, so I'll try and make it as short as I can. Okay, doesn't matter why you look at it.
I'm not looking at the report.
The Westfield Board of Health is now responsible for Zika virus testing by state mandate. They will be prioritizing based on at-risk patients. Independent labs is now going to be doing testing for at-risk people. There have been 122 cases of Zika virus confirmed in New Jersey via airborne transmittal and 2 sexually transmitted. Union County Mosquito Control has been extremely proactive and has done an excellent job of spraying and educating people to the dangers and risks of the virus. Especially prevalent is stagnant water. They can breathe in something as small as a bottle cap. Vanwood is going to be having a free rabies clinic at LeGrand Park for dogs and cats. There was no date given at the last meeting, so for further information, you can please call the Board of Health in Westfield for dates and times. Be Hard-Headed Helmet Safety Campaign, sponsored by Children's Specialized Hospital, has acquired 48 new helmets that they had on order. Thus far, out of this batch of helmets, 4 have been distributed. Be aware of lead paint when windows are being replaced. There was an instance of lead poisoning in Garwood, and the Board of Health determined that it came from window replacements. So please be aware, if you are having the windows replaced, it must be done with the proper precautions. Make sure the company you are using utilizes a HEPA vacuum for any airborne particles. Most window replacement companies do not take this extra measure, but it's something to be aware of. Blood pressure screening. I know I brought it to the attention of Mayor and Council a few weeks ago. I also brought it to Megan at the Board of Health about the seniors requesting for twice a month blood pressure screening. Currently, it's being done once a month. I spoke to Megan about this last time, and we spoke about it this past meeting. It would be an extra $38 for that extra screening. But after much discussion, Joan Van Netta and Eileen Kufta made a great suggestion that, as they are both registered nurses, they would be willing to do the second screening at Borough Hall for anyone in Garwood, regardless of your age. Thank you, ladies, for offering your services to this worthy cause. It'll probably be done in the evening, possibly at 7 p.m. Megan said that they would be happy to supply cards to pass out so everyone can keep track of their readings. She also said that they would advertise in the paper and on websites. A great public service with no added cost to the taxpayers. I will keep you posted when this will begin as soon as everything is coordinated. A quick check was fine for someone selling tobacco to an underage person. So be aware of that. They're doing spot inspections. And I think that's all for my report, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Any comments on the report? Hearing none, Streets and Roads Ecology, Councilman Petrozelli.
Thank you, Mayor. The Department of Public Works completed the following from September 14th to September 27th. The DPW performed their regular garbage and maintenance activities. In addition, they also performed miscellaneous pothole repairs on north and south sides of the borough. 2 tons of hot mix asphalt were used for those repairs. They continued to address residential shade tree pruning and removal requests that were accessible with the borough-owned bucket truck. Continued to elevate shade trees throughout the borough along miscellaneous borough streets to follow for larger vehicle travel at such public works vehicles. Continue to install new street signs in various locations to replace the old illegible signs in accordance with the list compiled by the Garwood Police Department. They also spackled and painted the wall and installed new molding in the conference room from the recent mold remediation project, and also assembled new chairs for the conference room. That's all for my report, Mayor.
Thank you. Any comments on the report of the Streets and Roads? Hearing none, Fire, Councilwoman Kukrow.
No report this time, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Finance, Councilman Tedesco.
No report, Mayor.
Thank you. Buildings and Grounds, Councilman Matthew.
Thank you, Mayor. The conference room, as we just saw, is completed. The mold was remediated and the room's been tested and is free of mold. 10 new chairs have been purchased and new carpeting has been installed. The wall was painted by members of the DPW. Total cost was approximately $5,800. The matter is covered under insurance, and it is expected that the claim will be covered minus the $1,000 deductible. This cost is much cheaper than we had originally anticipated when we first learned of this problem, so this is very good news. That's all for my report.
Thank you. Any comments on the Buildings and Grounds report? Hearing none, Laws and License, Councilman Martin.
No report.
Thank you. Recreation, Councilman Martin.
The meeting last Monday was canceled. Next scheduled meeting will be next month. I'll report that.
Thank you. Gorwood Senior Citizens Liaison, Councilwoman Kukrow.
Thank you, Mayor. I wanted to reach out and thank Lulu from Santander Bank for supplying the apple turnovers at our senior meeting last month, as well as a lot of pens. Welcome to new member Carol Hart, who just joined. We're still trying to coordinate a day when the Girl Scouts can come to the senior meeting. We're going to try for possibly over the holiday break or parent-teacher conferences. If the day cannot be accommodated, the Girl Scouts may be able to make some crafty things to hand out to the seniors. Thank you to Walter and Tony Sosnowski for stopping by. Walter made a nice presentation about household tips. He distributed a great handout. Baking soda, as we all know, is the most underutilized product in your house. It does everything. He also spoke about scams that target seniors and to please be diligent. Our Sunshine Girl, Kitty, that reads a poem every meeting, said she's short on greeting cards of all types. So if anybody out there has any they would like to donate, that would be wonderful. I want to thank Mary Wonka and her niece, Mary Jane. We just closed on our house today, thankfully. As we were going through for the last few weeks cleaning out, I saw, guess what? A huge box of greeting cards. I told her about the senior need for them, and now we're able to replenish this need for years to come. Thank you again to Mary and Mary Jane. Mr. Alamonte gave a very impassioned speech to very loud applause at our last senior meeting concerning sports players not standing for the national anthem. He said they are very good about taking American money, but not so much for American patriotism. Thank you to Mr. Alamonte for your patriotism. And that is all for my report, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Any comments on the senior report? Seeing none, we'll move on to the Mayor's representative at the library, Council President Petrozelli.
Thank you, Mayor. Tonight, the library director is at the Libraries of Union County Consortium. The reception is taking place at the Summit Library. They will be honoring many people who make a positive impact on the libraries in Union County. One of those people is a Garwood resident. Her name is Carla Quinones Regaria. She will be honored as a Volunteer of the Year for her service to the library in offering ESL classes, knitting classes, adult education, and donating laptop computers through her organization, Adelante Alliance. Sorry that we all couldn't make it there, but maybe next year the reception will be on a council meeting. October 5th is the beginning of Brixology. Brixology is a 7-week STEM program. Each Wednesday, kids in 3rd grade and up will use Lego bricks to build different engineering-themed projects. They will explore engineering fields including mechanical, structural, aerospace, nautical, and bioengineering, and get to take their creations home. This program is funded by a grant from the Union County Freeholders. On October 7th, the library will be visited by Michelangelo, the miniature therapy horse. Michelangelo usually visits residents at assisted living facilities, nursing homes, and groups home, and students at schools for children with special needs. Children at the library on the 7th will learn about miniature horses, what they eat, where they live. Michelangelo is a picture book that has recently been published about him. Michelangelo, the Little Therapy Horse, which will be available for purchase for $10. Children can have a photo taken with the author, Michelangelo, and the opportunity to pet and visit. Michelangelo is provided to us through Hope's Promise Farm. Their mission is to provide physical, mental, and emotional therapy to a wide range of children and adults with disabilities through equestrian activities. The library will also continue its regular programs. Kids Craft Thursday, September 29th at 3 p.m. Knitting Club every Monday and Thursday at 10:30 a.m. Bilingual knitting class every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Story time every Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. Schoolhouse Chess, which is every Wednesday at 3 p.m. through November 1st. Movie time every Friday at 10 a.m. Adult Craft Tuesday, October 18th at 6 p.m. And the Lego Club Thursday, October 13th and 27th at 3 p.m. As a reminder, the library is now open on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. with the convenient book drop, which is open 24/7. That's all for my report, Mayor.
Thank you. Any comments on the library report?
I do have just a quick comment. Since we were obviously unable to attend the reception tonight, and a Garwood resident was honored, Mayor, do you think you might
It's
want
already in
to?
my-
It's already on your to-do list?
Yes.
All right, great. And
I
thank you
have
to
all the
Carla for doing
information I
that.
got from the director.
Great, thank you.
Okay, move on to school board liaison, Councilman Sano.
Thanks, Mayor. School board met last week on September 20th and approved Superintendent Teresa Quigley's proposed merit goals for the 2016-2017 school year. The goals, which were not released at the meeting, are still awaiting approval from the Union County Superintendent's office. The board also approved the hiring of consultant Renee LaCrette to assist on a per diem basis with teacher evaluations at the salary of $525 a day and not to exceed $15,000 a day. The 8th grade class at Lincoln School held a car wash fundraiser on Saturday from 9 to 12 at Lincoln School and raised over $1,000. Great job. Furthermore, the 8th grade class has also signed boosters for the 8th grade play, which will be performed Friday, November 18th and Saturday, November 19th. I believe it's in the woods, is the play. I believe that's what it is. And the next meeting of the school board is scheduled for Tuesday, October 18th at Lincoln School at 7:30. That's all on my report.
Thank you, Councilman. Any comments on the school board report?
I do. Councilman, was that 15,000 a day? What did you say that was as a maximum?
$525 a day and not to exceed $15,000 for the year.
Okay.
Which will come out to
I
just
thought-
under 29 days,
Okay, thank you.
working days, that is.
Thank you. Okay, celebration of public events and holidays, liaison, Councilwoman Tedesco.
Thank you, Mayor. The Celebrations Committee met last week and planned its upcoming October events. So there will be a Halloween house decorating contest. Please register your house by October 14th by emailing garwoodcelebrations@garwood.org with your address so that the judges will be sure to take a look at your decorations. Also, the pumpkin decorating contest will take place on Saturday, October 29th at 5 p.m. next to the PTA-sponsored Trick or Trunk at the Lincoln School and First Aid Squad parking lots. Prizes will be given, and that's all for my report, Mayor.
Thank you. Any comments on the report of celebrations? Moving on, Union County Air Traffic Noise Advisory Board and Representative Councilman Matthew.
Thank you, Mayor. We had our meeting last night. Our chairman, Jerry Federer, is submitting a request for a Part 150 noise study to the Port Authority of New Jersey and New York. for our area of New Jersey south of Newark Liberty International Airport. The request basically states that the airlines operating out of Newark are exceeding the allowable noise levels for our area and requests that the Port Authority confirm that fact and engage in abating it. That's all from my report, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman. Any comments on the air traffic report? Hearing none, moving on, Administrative Review Committee.
No official report, Mayor. We did meet last week, and we have another meeting this week, or was it 2 weeks ago? And we have another one this, feels like it was just last week, but 2 weeks ago we had a meeting. We'll have another one this week, so that committee is underway.
Thank you. Historical Committee.
Can I have a couple comments?
Yes.
And the administrator, is there anything you could talk about that you guys are discussing?
I think at this point, it's really preliminary. That was our first meeting of the year, so let's give it a little time first.
What was the subject matter?
Ms. Ariana, do you?
Various, many.
5 or 6.
Yeah.
Yes, we could,
We just start to get talking and when we have some information to provide as we share.
I mean, we can't generally know what the committee,
It's just administrative matters and,
sounds very secret, very secret.
Believe me, it's not Councilman.
I'm going to put that, let the record show that I am opposed to an administrative review committee because it's a circumvention of the committee process. I'm not crazy about it. I'm going to let the record state that, and I think we should abolish this going forward. This should be done in the standing committees that are already established in this borough.
I agree with Councilman Sarno, and the other thing is, if we have a committee where we can't even tell what's going on in the committee, I don't like that. That's not transparency, Mayor.
there's really nothing going on. It's one.
It's true.
there's no decisions made, there's no action taken, and technically I don't even have a report, so we have comments on no report, but that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Historical Committee, Councilman Tedesco.
No report, Mayor, we're meeting this week.
Thank you. Officers report, Ms. Ariana.
Chief of Police Bruce Cunningham, monthly reports for the month of August 2016.
Do I have a motion to accept the officers report?
So moved, Mayor.
Do I have a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, public comment. Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to address the mayor and council? Please step to the microphone. State your full name and address. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes.
We'll see, we'll see. I got stuff.
Good evening, Jennifer Blumenstock, 315 Spruce. I know the issue of speeding on 4th Avenue has been brought up several times before, and I know that the council has looked into speed bumps, and they were determined sort of cost inefficient, the maintenance. A resident came to me this past weekend with an idea that I thought merited perhaps some investigation. Again, I don't know much about it. I tried to do some research and didn't find too much. There's something called speed tables, but not the paved speed tables, the rubber removable speed tables. And so I did a little bit of research, and I can give that over to Ms. Ariama.
Oh, you want to present?
That gives just a little bit of overview of what the speed tables are. Again, I don't know if this would be a possibility. Maybe it's something I assume that would go into the police committee to talk with the chief about. But it came to me. I thought perhaps it was something that we could look at to see if we can do something about this speeding problem on 4th Avenue.
I appreciate you coming forward, and I know we've discussed it, and we can look into what you presented and maybe see what that fits into with any recommendations from the police.
This resident did tell me he knew of them because of another community that he's been, he has relatives in Glen Rock. I did put a call to the DPW to see just what they do with them and, you know, how the use of them is with the snow plowing and things like that. I haven't received a phone call back. If I do, I will forward it on. But I do know that that is a community that does have them in Glen Rock, if that helps.
Bergen County.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Thank you.
Councilman, I'll pass this over to you at the end of the meeting.
No problem.
Thank you. Anyone else? Mr. Patterson.
Good evening, Mayor, ladies and gentlemen of
Council Bruce Patterson, 325 Mill Avenue.
And we just started the timer, right?
I'll just make sure. I think I can beat her. I think. No, I was looking at the communications. On 9/13 at the council meeting, the mayor graciously said any questions from the residents on the redevelopment, please forward it to the mayor and council. I sent mine in. It made the communications. The sad part is I don't see anybody else's letters of questions. You didn't get any others?
Basically, I responded.
Directly to mayor and council and deputy mayor.
We got another email from a
Maybe
resident.
they sent it not to me.
If I may, I received 2 of them, one from Tina Simmons, and I did respond to that already. It was a 2-page
She
response.
was on the other agenda,
Okay,
so I already put it on the last agenda.
okay. And I'm working through a couple of miscellaneous questions. I'm almost done with that. I'm going to correspond to the people who spoke and see who they were. And we can reach out to them. I can offer those probably at the next council meeting, just to the general public.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about the process. It's going to be like a tight.
Yeah, it's already in the process, already typed, yeah.
Okay, all the questions will be listed.
Yeah,
whatever.
it's about 5 or
Whatever
6.
can be answered.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good night, DJ.
Congratulations, Mr. Patterson.
Just for the
That was a minute 18 to be exact.
Your time. I was generous.
Moving on, unfinished business, consent agenda. Do I have a motion to accept the consent agenda?
I just have one quick question.
Yeah.
The RFP for the audit, when does that due?
I didn't even prepare it yet. This is just authorizing me.
Just authorizing to do it? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll get it out there and, get it, this just gives me the green light to go. Oh, because I do the consent, then I have to ask Mr. Renan to mention something before we go on to the.
Okay.
Delete it from the consent agenda.
Do I have a motion for the consent agenda?
So moved, Mayor.
Second.
Roll call, please, Ms. Ariano.
Councilman Kukrow.
Yes.
Councilman Morton.
Yes.
Councilman Matthews.
Aye.
Councilman Sarno.
Aye.
Councilman Fidesco.
Aye.
Council President Petrozelli.
Aye.
Hey, Mr. Renan, can you mention the appraiser thing?
Yes, we need an appraiser for defense of tax appeals, so I've asked the clerk to ask you for authorization to submit an RFQ or an RFP for tax appeal appraiser services.
So I have a resolution related to the consent agenda that will authorize me to do that. Can I read that now?
Yes, please.
Resolution 16273, be resolved by the Council of the Borough of Borough County, New State, New Jersey, hereby authorize the Borough Administrator to prepare proposals for real estate appraisal services for 2016-17. Be it further resolved that the municipal clerk be and is hereby authorized to issue proposals for the above services in accordance with the law.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That's a roll call.
Oh, I'm sorry. Roll call, please. Thank you.
Councilman Kukrow.
Yes.
Councilman Morton.
Yes.
Councilman Matthews.
Abstain.
Councilman Sarno.
Aye.
Councilwoman Fidesco.
Aye.
Council President Petrozelli.
Aye.
That's it.
What's our first meeting in November, by the way?
13. Oh,
15th.
no, 15.
November 15th, November 15th and 29th. There's the only
That's
two that are
correct.
off
Okay.
because of the election.
29th, I'm probably going to want to do a closed session after we have the appraiser to talk about a couple of appeals, so
Okay.
just to make it help, it's worth it. We're going to have to do that.
Didn't we have an appraiser before?
We have retained an appraiser, but you can only retain consultants for professional services a year at a time.
So then every year you renew,
Every year we have to hire somebody.
you have to hire somebody else, all right, so then her contract is up, so you're getting, every year you get
That's not
somebody
her.
new.
Appraisers is not
No,
that
that's-
lady you're thinking of.
No, I'm not even thinking of a lady, I'm just thinking of him, her, and, it doesn't matter.
Right.
So every year you have a new contract for a new appraiser, you never roll over this same one from the previous year?
You have to do new proposals.
You can
Okay,
only,
I'm just saying-
you can only retain a professional service for a year. So yes, if we need, we don't always have such amount of tax appeals that we need to have an appraiser on board, but right now we do. So, and it's been more than a year since the last time we did an RFP for appraisal services.
Last one was 14, 15. This is
What's the deadline to be on the RFP for everyone to come back? How long is it usually, 2 weeks?
I have to have posted for
Yeah,
10
both
days,
10 days, okay.
so it'll be up tomorrow.
Okay.
And I'm taking proposals, I think, on, don't quote what we got, I think October 13th.
Okay, and we'll have, we can
And
make
you'll
it,
get them.
we'll get the
You'll
bids
get
in.
the stuff from
Okay.
me, where notes saying, I got this, you'll discuss it
And we'll discuss it and
on
vote on it.
the meeting after October 13th, which is, I think, the 27th.
27th. Okay.
And then you'll direct me to prepare a resolution of what board and what not.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, all our questions have been answered?
Yes.
Okay, moving on. New business, Fire Prevention Week, October 9th to the 15th, 2016. I have one item. Annual receipt of Mr. Paul Nives' resignation from the Planning Board and the Recreation Commission. Colonel Nives, a member of the U.S. Army Reserve, has been called to active duty for 1 year to be stationed in North Carolina. On the Planning Board, I am elevating Stephen Napolitano to alternate number 2 and to John Malcolm to alternate 3. That's all I have. Ready? Payment plans?
Be resolved that the following claims as approved be and the same are hereby ordered paid when properly signed and verified, and the payment of payrolls as is hereby confirmed and ratified.
Do I have a motion to adopt payment of claims?
So moved.
Roll call, please, Ms. Aaron.
Councilman Kukrow?
Yes.
Councilman Martin? Councilman Matthew?
Aye.
Councilman Sarno?
Aye.
Councilman Tedesco?
Aye.
And Council President Petroselli.
The regular meeting of the mayor and council will be held on Tuesday, October 11, 2016, in council chambers at 7:15 p.m. Workshop session to start at 7 p.m. There will be a public hearing in council chambers on ordinance number 16-16 on Tuesday, October 11, 2016, at 7:15 p.m. or sooner thereafter. I have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good night.
Thank you.